Well, good morning. It is Friday morning. We're playing in the back room waiting on Shishi to come over. Yesterday, my grandma came over for a little bit and visited with us. We just kind of hung out with her. And then Kevin got off work. So he came home. He ended up finding someone to work for him at his second job last night. So he wasn't even supposed to work last night, his second job, but he ended up taking a class for another teacher. And then Kevin got news that his stepdad is actually in the hospital and not doing well. So we were kind of like unsure how last night was going to go. And just in case things went really south, Kevin was available to leave and go there if he needed to. So that was yesterday. This morning, I wake up and I'm like, oh, I feel nice and refreshed, thinking it was like 7 a.m., you know? And I'm like, I think I could, so I could hear that Luca wasn't making any noise on the monitor. So I'm like, all right, he must still be sleeping. It's probably 7. I was like, I can probably like get up and play on my phone for a little bit and just like have a little me time. I get up and I look at the clock. It's 8 a.m. And Luca was still sleeping. So I was like, what the heck? So I laid in bed for like 10 minutes, texted Alicia, and I'm like, Luca's still sleeping. So I let him sleep till like 8:15, and then I went in and woke him up because I was like, I don't want his like whole day to be thrown off, but also it was a little nice that he slept in. Yeah, I let Luca sleep in till 8:15, or he slept in till 8:15, then I woke him up. That doesn't work. And his little app, so I use a sleep app for him that like calculates, keeps tracks of his naps, and like tells me when to put him to sleep and how, if he's had enough sleep, all that kind of stuff. So this morning I was like, oh, since he woke up late, it's probably going to push his first nap back a little bit. It did not. It was like, okay, first nap 9:40, and I was like, but he woke up at 8:15. Like, he's not going to be sleepy enough. What? But I just trusted it. And I guess by staying on the schedule, I'm kind of like teaching him like, okay, this is the time you go down for your nap. This is the time you need to wake up, all that kind of stuff. I think he was just extra tired. He was tired all day yesterday, which was really kind of weird. But anyhow, he went down for his nap. It took 30 minutes for him to fall asleep, which was not normal. And then when I finally did get him asleep in his crib, he only slept for 30 minutes, which sucked because I'm used to him taking like an hour and a half to a 2-hour nap for his first nap. So him being back at sleeping at a 30-minute nap was giving me PTSD flashbacks of when he used to only take 30-minute naps, and those were not good. So if I can help it, we will not be sleeping in the mornings, and we'll be sticking with our nap schedule, because though the extra sleep this morning was nice, you sleeping a full nap is also nice. So we'll see how your second nap today goes. But since he only slept his 30 minutes, he woke up earlier. He woke up at 10:30 when he's supposed to wake up at 11:15 from his first nap. So I don't know if today's going to be rough. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're just back here. Yeah. He's rolling around and climbing on me. So we're going to do lunch here in a minute, which I'm not fully sure what we're doing for lunch, but we're going to do something. I may make him some pasta. Hopefully Shishi should be here in a little bit. I did a ooh-ooh, an uh-oh, a boo-boo. I accidentally deleted photos and footage off of so I film on my phone, but then I edit on my iPad, and my iPad somehow ran out of space. So I went and I deleted he just bit my toe. I went and I deleted my recently deleted folder. Well, I had accidentally moved some stuff into my recently deleted folder that I didn't actually mean to delete. So when I deleted it, it deleted it forever. So our plan today is to take our stuff off Macari, but now we're going to have a little bit of an issue. It's going to be a pain in the butt, but we'll figure it out. We always do. So, can you say hey? Hey! You headbanging? I made Luca some mozzarella pesto pasta, which he's thoroughly enjoying as he licks his fingers. Alicia is now on her way over, and Luca is gonna go down for his second nap here soon in about 30-ish minutes. So hopefully he'll take a long second nap, fingers crossed. And then that way Alicia and I can knock getting some stuff out for Makari and our pin books. Let's see if Alicia has a reaction to our dining room. Told you door was open.
Oh, I didn't see that. I was struggling to get everything out of the car.
Luca's taking his nap, which should be maybe wrapping up here soon. And we've gone through our pin books, taken out the pins off Makari that we traded away at the pin event. We got BBB's pin book and my pin book back in order, and then pulled pins that got put in that we traded for that didn't get their photo taken for Makari. That's what we've been up to. And I meant to vlog it, but then we just got started and then got carried away. And then I was using my phone and my iPad to try to look up pins to reference stuff and try to figure everything out, because I accidentally deleted some footage and some photos that I had taken. So that was a bit of a pain in the butt, but we figured it out. Alicia's looking through my book currently. Yep. And that's where we're at. So kind of did a horrible job of vlogging today. But Alicia just left and we just kind of worked on like our pin ISOs, because I'm gonna try to do some online trading. It's a little less, not hassly, but it's a little easier. So I'm about to start on dinner, and tonight for dinner I pulled out some frozen chicken. So I've had that thawing, so I've got that over here. I'm about to cut it up and bread it. But before I do that, because we are in the tiny ass kitchen, I need to work on my side really quick. So I'm doing Parmesan roasted broccoli for our side. A big bag of broccoli florets. I got this giant ass bag mainly because I have a recipe that I needed broccoli for Luca, and then I also figured that I could use some of the broccoli for us. So I think I'm gonna try to use about 2/3 of the bag and then leave 1/3 of the bag in the fridge for Luca for maybe this weekend. Trying to make his recipe while Kevin's here, but we do have a lot going on this weekend and I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna have the time to cook Luca's stuff, so it may have to wait till Monday. So I've preheated my oven to 425. This is super simple, it's super delicious, and it's like pretty quick. Not a lot of steps. And get my tin foil out. I'm gonna lay it out on my pan so it's a nice easy cleanup. Kevin's already home. He's in the back with Luca. Like I said, I have to make this before I start the chicken because I'm going to air fry our chicken tonight. I haven't made air fried chicken. Move you guys up a little bit. Haven't made air fried chicken in a really long time. And it's just gonna be quick, and I figured it'll also be delicious. So, is already like washed and prepped. I think you can even steam it in this bag if you want. These are huge ass broccoli pieces, so I'm gonna have to go in and kind of make these a little bit more bite-sized, ones that aren't already, which is a lot of it. So, does broccoli ever sometimes smell like feet to y'all? I think that should be good. So that was only like half the bag that I need. You're gonna need, this is my favorite like Parmesan cheese mix. It's 3 cheese, so it's Parmesan Romano and Asiago cheese blend. And then you're gonna need minced garlic, You're gonna need olive oil, and you're also going to need breadcrumbs. I like to use the Italian breadcrumbs. So these are my favorite breadcrumbs to use when I'm cooking for us. They're the Italian style, so they already have like some seasonings mixed in with them, but I think those are the only things you need. I'm gonna use this chopping board, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down a little bit more into bite-sized pieces. Throw these giant stemmy pieces away. So this is quite a bit of broccoli. So I'm going to follow my recipe that I have. That way you guys have exact measurements. The only thing that I didn't write was how much broccoli florets. I just said broccoli florets. So we're going to do 3 cloves of minced garlic. And when it calls for that, I typically just do 3 spoonfuls. I'm sure there is some exact measurement, but I always use just pre-minced garlic because it's easier. But we also just really like garlic. 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2, and 3. If we need to add more, we definitely can. How much? Grated parm, 1/2 cup. All right, all I can find is my 1/4 of a cup, so we're gonna do 2 of these. So 1 and 2. And then we're just missing breadcrumbs, which is 1/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs, which is perfect, because I already have my 1/4 out. Is this going to be a big enough bowl, though, to toss it? All right, we're about to find out. Oh. Okay, so your broccoli doesn't need to be like wet. Just need it to all be coated. So I do feel like it needs a little bit more olive oil because all of my toppings and stuff is just kind of like falling off of it a little bit. So add some more olive oil to this. And then a lot of the stuff just kind of like falls to the bottom, but don't really fret about that, because when you take this over to your pan, which is what I'm about to do now, and you dump it out on the pan, you also just kind of like dump the remaining of everything that fell to the bottom on top. You're just gonna dump it out. You want it on... You want them like, it's okay for them to be touching each other, but they all need to be touching the pan, if that makes sense. So you don't want any on top of each other. All right, so now I'm just gonna take all this leftover stuff that's on the bottom and sprinkle it on top. This already smells delicious. All right, so once our oven heats up to 425, which it's still working on it, you're going to pop this in there for 18 to 20 minutes and let it roast. And then I will show you guys what that looks like when it comes out. And pop this in and start a timer for 20 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna work on our chicken, and I'm thinking it's still kind of frozen in the middle, so for that reason, if you're wondering why they're in baggies, when we get our chicken, we buy it in large quantities, and then we take them and put each individual piece of chicken in a bag and then freeze it. So if I have a recipe that calls for like 3 chicken breasts, then I just grab 3 bags to de-thaw, instead of having to de-thaw like 6 or 12, depending on how many we got for sale that day. So, let me tuck this. I'm tired of it. There we go. Hopefully that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna take this. Oh yeah, it's a little frozen still right here. So I'm gonna take it and I'm just going to cut it down the center and make this into 4 chicken breasts essentially. Like butterfly it, but I'm probably going to go ahead and cut it all the way through. Yeah. That way it'll cook a little faster. So you kind of want to try to cut them all the same thickness, but this one ended up being a little thinner and this one ended up being a little thicker. That's my bad. I do sometimes use breadcrumbs, but I think tonight I'm just going to do them naked with some seasonings on them and just let it ride like that. That way if Kevin wants to put barbecue sauce on it, he can. If I'm probably going to drench mine in ranch, you know, the usuals. So when I do stuff like this, I just grab my garlic powder. You want to make sure that it's not garlic salt, that it's just garlic powder. And I typically load both sides up pretty well. I hit it with the onion powder. And some pepper. Need a little bit more pepper. If you know my pepper incident, you know why I don't shake it from the container and I shake it from a lid. Those are usually typically the only 3 that I use. Sometimes I will also hit it with a little bit of Pam, and that way it crisps it up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and clean this area off because now I'm going to have Kevin come in and take down my air fryer and it has to go right here to be plugged in. I'll get some spatulas out, lay this Pam side down on the air fryer like grate, and then I'll season the other side. I'm gonna wash Luca's cup before dinner, but then I'll season the other side and probably try to cook them for about 20-25 minutes. I'll meat thermometer it to make sure it's done because I get nervous with chicken. Can you come get the air fryer down? Come here. Okay, so Luca needed a little booby. He's also not thrilled that I walked away from being back there. So we're going to turn our light on in here. And I'm gonna grab some tongs. Our broccoli is smelling absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna grab tongs. I'm gonna go ahead and lay our chicken in here face down, the side that we already seasoned. I'm gonna lay this back on here. Wash my hands because the chicken just accidentally touched it and that's disgusting. The broccoli no longer smells like feet and I'm very excited. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did seasoning wise to the chicken that you saw before, just on this opposite side now. Put this on the middle rack. It's gonna be 350. Turn my preheat on here off. And then I'm going to up our time probably to 25 and let that run. I'll probably end up checking it before 25, just visually seeing if it looks done to me. And then if it looks done visually wise, then I'll probably meat thermometer it. The good thing about our meat thermometer is it has a little cheat sheet on the back. So chicken needs to be 165. So check that here soon. Our broccoli, I can't see the timer on my phone while I'm recording, but I'm thinking the broccoli is probably almost done, but that's okay. It can sit out on the stove and just kind of like cool. But that's dinner tonight. Super simple, super easy, stuff we already had on hand. And yeah. All right, I just pulled our broccoli out and it is looking perfect. Nice and crisped up, nice and roasted. So I'm gonna let it cool because it is steaming.